everyone. This class today is going to be a yin style class that's focused on the lower body. So it's going to be longer holds, a few minutes each pose, and we'll do a little bit of work for the neck, shoulders, and some opening across the chest too, just so that we can access these parts that tend to be really congested and tight in people. So we will access upper body a bit, but focus is going to be on the lower body, specifically the glutes, the hamstrings, and the calves. So you will need a blanket will be good for this. If you would like a towel or an eye mask to cover your eyes for our shavasana, and then a strap or a scarf or a towel, anything that you can use as a strap, and 2 blocks will be perfect as well. For each of these poses today, we'll be holding them for about 3 minutes, just so that we can keep the class a bit shorter. But if you want to stay for longer, feel free to just pause the video and you can hold longer. Otherwise, I will write out the sequence in the description below this video so that you can have what it is that we work on, and you can sort of put together your own sequence and decide on how long you want to hold the shapes on your own, instead of following along with the video every time. So you can kind of pick and choose things that feel really good in your body, and feel free to hold 5-10 minutes based on what feels good for you. All right. So we're going to begin in an easy seated pose. If you would like, you can sit on your blanket or a block and just let your hands rest somewhere comfortable in your lap. Go ahead and close your eyes. Let your shoulders settle down your back and extend the crown of your head taller. Smooth out any tension across your face. And take a nice deep breath in through the nose. And exhale, let the breath out. A deep breath in. And a slower breath out. Try to focus all of your senses on your breath. So you can't see the breath, but could you visualize where the breath is moving in your body? If you're starting to breathe Ujjayi breath, can you hear your breath? So what sounds is it making? And are you noticing any taste in the mouth with the breath? And feel as the breath moves through the back of the throat, the back of the palate. And are there any smells around you? And where does the breath touch you internally? So what moves as you breathe in and out? And so just try to bring all of your senses into thinking about your breath, or feeling your breath, hearing your breath, so that you create a focal point for the mind. Anytime you feel distracted, just pull yourself back to what the breath sounds like, or where the breath, as you visualize it moving in your body, or where the breath is touching. And take just 3 more breaths here, creating and intention for your practice. You can soften your hands on your lap, maybe choosing to turn the knees down to hold, or the hands down to hold your knees. And keeping your eyes closed if you would like, let your chin fall to your chest. And then slowly start to move your head from side to side. And just taking a nice, gentle, slow sway in this front plane of your body. And then bring your right ear to your right shoulder. Start to lift the chin away from the center of the chest, so your ear is lining directly up with the shoulder. Press your left shoulder away from the left ear so you feel a stretch go deeper down that side of the throat. And then if you would like, you can take your right hand to your left temple and gently press, deepening the stretch. Again, if it feels good, you can close your eyes. Yin is meant to be very slow and very cozy feeling. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Release your right hand down. You can let your chin fall to your chest. Roll back through center again, going nice and slow here. Bringing your left ear to your left shoulder and starting to lift your chin away from the chest. Ear dropping to shoulder head. Left hand can come around and gently press on the right side of your face. It's nice and easy to deepen. Eyes again can close and focus on your breath coming in and out. And anytime you've noticed that you're not thinking of your breath, you just return to it, and that is meditation. Take 2 more breaths here. Release that left hand from the face. Let your chin roll back to your chest. Stay center with the chin. And then slowly start to roll the vertebrae of the neck back up. Lifting the chin, head comes to neutral. Start to turn and look left to right. Make sure your shoulders are relaxing down the back. Look back to center and roll your shoulders. Now your hands are not glued to your legs or to the ground, so if you want to lift your elbows up, keep them bent a bit and use the elbows and lower arms to work the shoulders more, you can. And maybe it feels good to do one at a time, or even alternating here. Sometimes you'll get some nice cracks and pops, so enjoy those. That's the body releasing. Let's go in the opposite direction. Just checking in with how all these spaces are feeling for you today. And every little feeling is feedback. It's a message. So no judging or criticizing what you're finding. All right. Shoulders relaxed down the back. Let's come around to tabletop pose, hands and knees. Just a little bit more work in the back body to open up the spine. So come to hands and knees. You'll want your wrists underneath the shoulders and your knees underneath the hips. So good stacking bones here. Gently tone your belly. So just softly pull navel towards your spine. Now as you inhale, lift the chin and the tail, looking up for cow. And as you exhale, press the earth away and round cat. You can let your head hang here and get extra stretch through the neck. Inhaling, cow pose. Exhale, cat. Again, you can close your eyes to make this a bit more meditative. Follow your breath as you move. And again, checking in with the senses in regards to your breath. Let's take 3 more here. Last breath. And so coming back to a neutral spine, we're going to do what I call calf violins. So in our tabletop position here, I'm going to cross my right shin bone on top of my left calf muscle. So to see that from behind, I'm in tabletop. I cross right shin on top of left calf. Then I'm going to lift my right knee up and start to play the calf. So swinging the right shin back and forth as if I'm playing a string instrument here. Now you're probably going to feel some sweet spots. The intensity here is up to you. So the more I press my right leg down into my left, the more intense that it feels. And I can go softer in that press down. And if I find a spot that's really tender, maybe doing some little circular motions to help massage out those more specific points. So we'll do this side for about 30 more seconds before switching to other side. And this is one where you can pause the video and stay longer here if you would like. Oh, I found a good spot. Hurts so good. Alright, let's come back to tabletop, hands and knees. You can sway the hips a bit from side to side here. And then maybe sit back and rest in a child's pose for just 3 breaths. You can widen the knees to help spread the hips a bit more and relax the glutes. 3 breaths. All right, come back up. Tabletop, hands and knees. And we'll do that violin on the other side. So left shin crosses over right calf. And then lifting the left knee and play the violin on that other side. We'll go for about a minute. Notice just how the sides are different from one another. Where are the tender, sweet spots on this right calf? Nice deep breath still. Make sure you're not holding the breath just because you're finding some tense areas. Try to keep breathing through it. All right, one more breath here. And back to table. Knees can open. And sit back and rest in a child's pose. 3 breaths. rise back up. Tabletop, hands and knees. Last one before we get into our longer holds. So again, aligning shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. We're going to work on stretching the TFL, which is a muscle here that connects pelvis to your thigh bone. And so this one gets really, really tight when we're sitting for long periods of time. It just sort of starts to compress on the side of the hip. So we're going to drop our hips directly down to the right. So make sure you're not pulling forward or going back towards the heels. So it's a drop to the right side. Like you're giving like a sassy hip to the right. And then keeping this right elbow straight, I'm going to start to bend my left arm and try to get the forearm down to the ground. And the closer it gets to the ground, the more you'll start to feel the stretch on the right side. You can turn and look wherever you want to, whatever's comfortable for your neck. Let's hold for just 5 more breaths. One more breath. Start to shift the hips back to center as you lift the left elbow up. Maybe take a little sway through the hips. And then same thing on the other side. So your hips are going to drop to the left, and again directly out to the left. Keep your left arm straight and start to bend the right elbow, forearm comes down. Looking again wherever feels comfortable for the neck, personally, on your body. And 5 breath here. One more breath. Hips come back to center as right elbow comes up. Little sway through the hips. And you can come around to your seat. All right, so that is what we're going to focus on for neck, shoulders, and we started to get into the hips there as well. So we're going to get into our longer holds. Again, I'm going to time out 3 minutes. Feel free to do longer based on what your body needs today. So for this first one, you'll need your 2 blocks, and you're going to set them up so that they are perpendicular or intersecting each other. You can go medium height on the blocks, and this is going to give you a little bit more stretch, or for easier, you can go down to the lower height. Now, the first block is going to rest, or our shoulders are going to rest on this first block, and our head's going to go on the second one. So the line up here, we want the lower part of the block to be at the base of the shoulder blades, okay? So if I'm on that medium height, bottom of the shoulder blades, bottom of the block, and I'll be laying back, my head will rest on the second block. If you're going to go the lower height, again, you want the bottom of the block at the bottom of the shoulder blades, but now the shoulder blades are going to be supported a bit more since it's not that skinny surface. So you're not going to get as deep of a chest opening, but the alignment with the blocks should be the same no matter what. If your spine doesn't like the hard surface of the blocks, this is where your blanket can come in handy, and you can place the blanket over, creating a softer surface for you. Okay, so get yourself set up. I am not going to use a blanket just so you guys can see where the blocks are on my back in case you're a little worried about the placement. I will say this, if there is any discomfort, move the block up or down a little bit on your back. We don't want this to feel like it's pinching anywhere, okay? And then as you lie back, feel free to keep your legs extended out, or for the lower body access, we're going to bring soles of the feet together and the knees can drop open wide for Bado Konasana. Okay. Okay, so Go ahead and get back. Our timer has begun. Again, here for about 3 minutes. And the arms are going to open out wide from the body. You can come up towards shoulder height. We want the backs of the hands to stay on the ground, but you can think of reaching energetically out through your fingertips. With each exhalation, just try to soften something that you are actively holding. So any tension across the eyebrows or the jaw. And keep returning to your breath. And all your senses focus on the breath. Keep checking in with what your breath sounds like, where you visualize it moving, if there are any smells. Notice what the breath is touching now. Maybe the breath has started to go deeper. And so just lovingly check in with the changes of the breath, which signal changes internally too. We have 1 minute left here. Start to bring your hands closer in towards your body. Hands can go underneath the thighs and gently help the knees come back together. Then bracing yourself off your right side, you can slowly start to roll off your blocks, landing down on the arm. You can start to hug your knees up towards your heart so that you feel a rounding come back to your upper back. Then gently press yourself up for a moment so we can move the blocks out of the way. And grab your strap. So with your strap, you want to make a nice big loop. If you have a towel or a scarf that you're using instead, it's just gonna have to go around the ball of the foot. So you won't be able to get the neck in this next one, but you will still get to enjoy the stretch in the back of the hamstrings. So we're gonna come down. And I like the tail end of the strap, so where the hook and everything is, I like that to go near my foot so that I still have access to this tail when I get down. I have this strap around my right foot. Again, I'm bringing the strap close to the ball of my foot. And then I'm going to take the other end of the strap and place it around the back of my head. And I'm going to sort of tuck the strap into my ears. So if this went all the way around my head, it would be like an 80s sweatband tucked into my ears. What this is creating for the neck is a zero gravity environment. So there's no strain on the vertebrae of the neck here, and they're able to start to sort of relax, traction away from one another. So I'm going to gently start to flex my toes. Keep your right knee soft so you don't want it locked out. There should be a tiny little bend in the knee. And I want to think of pressing energetically up through my heel a bit so that the stretch is not only in the back of the hamstrings here, but I can also feel it in my calf. Now this is feeling pretty good for me, so I can start to pull on the tail of the strap, start to press my head back more, and that's going to intensify the stretch that I feel in the back. And I'm going to continuously flex through my toes, keep my knee soft, and press out through my heel on this right side. If things are feeling good, you can start to extend this left leg longer as well, but make sure that your knee and your toes are pointing up to the sky on the left side, so there's still proper alignment here. And now you can feel free to open your right leg out to the right side, and if you have your head in the strap too, you'll be looking at the toes. Make sure that your nose, chin, and eyes are following the foot. You can even bring it across the body a little bit to feel the outer hip stretch. Otherwise, you can just feel free to stay center here. And if you don't have a long strap, then just having the towel or scarf around the ball of the foot and your hands are holding onto the strap, pulling the leg closer in. Okay. So time has begun. We'll be here for 3 minutes. And of course, nice deep breath. Always checking in with your breath. Seek out any areas of active holding and tension and try to soften and relax those spaces. And some days the body listens to you and will relax, and other days not so much, but the mindfulness is there, and that's what's important. We have 1 minute left here. You can release your head from the strap. Keep your right foot in the strap or your scarf. Keep your left leg long or extended if it isn't already. And then we're going to drop our right leg over to the left in a straight leg spinal twist. Now this is going to start to stretch the outer hip and glute. If it's too much, you can always bend the right knee and let your back take the spinal twist a bit more. You may start to lose some of that stretch in the glute, but it's still good for the glute and the lower back. Even if the knee is bent, you're still getting some amazing benefits there. Otherwise, you can keep that right leg straight. Make sure the knee is staying softer, so we have a tendency to lock out. Don't let that happen. Your right arm can reach back towards the right side. And I like to hold on to the strap with the left hand, right arm reaching open. Now my right hip is feeling quite tight today, so I'm holding my foot up in the air so that I'm allowing this area some time to soften, let go, and drop more and more to the earth. So if your foot's not making it completely down to the ground, not a big deal. Just keep trying to soften and relax. Or you can take your blocks and bring the earth up to you, so blocks can go underneath the foot. And it's starting to soften, it's feeling good. And it has touched the ground. Now another variation here, if your right foot is on the ground, or if the knee is bent slightly, what you can do is bend the bottom knee, the left knee, reach your right hand down and grab hold of the foot. So now you're feeling a nice quad stretch on that left side. This is called cat grabbing its tail. And the closer you try to pull heel in towards the glute, the more that you'll feel here for the stretch. We have about 45 seconds left here. So first, let go of that left foot slowly, and extend the left leg long. You can bend the right knee, bring yourself back to center. Remove the foot from the strap. Bring both feet to the earth, knees pointing up to the sky, and take some windshield wipers, dropping knees down. That feels good. Okay, so we're going to go into the other side. Your left foot can go up into the strap. And if you adjusted your strap for the right side, you can go back to the starting position because your left leg may be tighter than your right one. And again, you want that tail to be at the ball of the foot. Your head can go in the strap on the other side. Getting that neck release once again. And choose if you would like to keep the right knee bent, or over time maybe starting to extend through the right leg. So left toes are flexing, knee is soft, and the heel is starting to kick towards the sky. So I feel the stretch now here in the calf. This is feeling okay on this side, so I am going to tighten to pull my left leg in a bit closer. Feel free to move the leg side to side. Just make sure that your eyes continue to look at the big toe. And nice deep breath here. Try to focus all of your senses on your breath, on that one thing, just thinking of that. And just check in with how this left side feels compared to your right. Doing so in a very welcoming way. So I'm not wishing that my left hamstring felt the way my right one did or vice versa. I'm accepting and loving of the tightness of these left hamstrings. Knowing that it's temporary, and knowing that I'm doing the right thing to open up and free this space. Just a few more breaths here. So head can release from the strap. Soften your knees, make sure they're not hyperextending. And you can start to drop your left leg down to the right side for the spinal twist. Left arm can start to open up behind you. And again, maybe if you would like, you can bring a block underneath the foot or the thigh somewhere, bringing the ground up to you if you wanted to drop in more immediately. And so that you're not holding the leg up. But again, trusting that over time it's going to start to soften and can get closer and closer to the ground. If this is bothersome, you can always bend the knee and let the lower back take the twist some more. If you're doing okay and you wanted the quad stretch here, bending the right knee, grabbing hold of the foot, and pulling the heel close in towards the glute. Try to soften that right knee as well, so let it sink towards the ground. Don't try to hold it up, just relax and breathe into the tension you're feeling. you visualizing your breath moving? What sound is your breath making? Where does it touch internally? And keep bringing yourself back to your breath. A few more breaths. And slowly start to let the right foot go. Bend your left knee. Bring yourself back to center. Remove the strap from the foot. Get both feet to the ground. And do some windshield wipers once again. All right, our next one, we're gonna stay on our backs. I'm just resetting my timer. Last one here is going to be thread the needle. So lying on your back, left foot to the ground, knee bent, you'll cross your right ankle on top of your left knee. And you can work on pressing this right knee away from you, which is gonna help a nice external rotation in the hip. And if you would like to go deeper, you can pull your left thigh or even hook around the shin to get a little stretch through the quad and the knee and pull the thigh in towards your chest. My right foot is flexing and I'm gently pressing the pinky edge of my foot into the knee, and that's going to help to take the twist out of the knee and put it more into your hip. Knee pressing away, left thigh hugging in. Here for 3 minutes on each side. Just nice deep breath. The hips can pull up some emotional stress for us as well. So make sure you're not trying to go in too far or too fast. And just be patient with the body unraveling. You may also gently rock left to right here, and that will be a nice massage for your lower back. We have about 1 minute left here on this side. Extend both legs up to the sky. You can turn the feet in and out. And shake, 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 shake. Right foot comes down. Cross the left ankle on top. Flex through the left foot and again start to press left knee away from you. You can hold on to the thigh or the shin on that right side, pulling in. Press the pinky edge of the left foot into the right thigh to help twist the hip and not the knee. Again, rocking a little bit from side to side here if you would like. Nice deep breath and close your eyes. Start to mentally, physically prepare for your Shavasana pose coming up. We've got 1 minute left. How is your breath? Where is it moving? Is there a texture or a temperature? Notice if your breath feels deeper. And slowly start to unravel, reaching the legs high up to the sky. And again, you can turn the feet and the knees in and out, in and out. Shake, 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 shake. Bring the feet down to the mat and to the wide edges of the mat. And drop the knees in on one another just for a couple of breaths, about 3 breaths here, just so we can return to that internal rotation of the thigh and the hip. And then for your Shavasana pose, you can just extend the legs, open the arms, and rest on the earth in traditional Shavasana. Otherwise, I am going to recommend taking your blanket. Mine is very poorly folded right now, but you can make a nice little rectangle out of your blankets to help cushion your pelvis, your lower back, and do legs up the wall. And this will be a really nice time to use your eye mask too, to place it over your eyes. I'm going to join you with this one, and we'll go for 3 minutes with our Shavasana as well. If you want to extend, stay longer, please feel free to do so. Go ahead and sit close to the wall. Legs flip up, and then your back and head come down. Make sure your knees are soft, letting the heels rest. The eye mask can go over the eyes, and the arms can reach open or out depending on what feels good for you. Nice deep breath. Repeat your intention to yourself. Just allow yourself to drop into the good feelings in the body that you've created, that you've uncovered. Enjoy your time here in Shavasana. I'll let you know when to release. Make your next inhale a little bit deeper, bringing your attention back to yourself, your body, your breath. You can start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. And on your next inhale, reaching arms overhead, point and flex through the feet. As you exhale, soften, hugging the knees into your heart. You can remove anything from your eyes. Let yourself slowly drop over to your right. Pausing here for a little bit of time, a couple of breaths. Then press yourself up and come to a nice, easy seated pose. Eyes can shut once again, bringing hands, prayer in front of your heart, sitting up nice and tall. A moment of gratitude for your body, your breath, and this time on your mat. Bow your brain, sealing everything in. Namaste. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you feel good. Have a wonderful day.